it is a frustrated second attempt from Thea Lafond. 25-year-old. A history maker for her country. She won the first Commonwealth Games medal for them back in 2018.
The women's 5,000 meters final is moments away from getting started on the track at the Athletic Stadium in Lima. Adriana Fernandez in Santo Domingo in 2003, setting the Pan-American record. The start list for the women's 5,000 meters. Carolina Tabares, the 33-year-old, fifth in the 10,000 meters. Rispa Biaki, the Mexican, also was involved in the 10,000. She took a silver medal. But there's some fast running going on. Laura Galvan of Mexico looking very good in July, setting a time of 15 minutes and 27 seconds. So Lauren Paquette of the USA and Kim Conley are going to be real contenders in this if they run according to plan. Huge reaction for Luz Rojas, the 26-year-old two-time national champion from Peru. Kim Conley of the USA, she's got the best time of anyone this year, 15 minutes and 5 seconds. Rispa Biaki Gesabwa of Mexico, the silver medalist in the 10,000. Saida Menezes of Peru, she's also a two-time national champion, just 21. She was fourth in the South American Championships in May. Now, Jessica O'Connell is also really one to watch. She's run 15 minutes and 10 seconds so far this year. In 2015, ran 15:06. The women's 5,000 meters is underway here in Lima 2019. And as is always the case in this sort of distance, it's about judging it right and getting the tactics as you want them to be. Setting the pace, it is the American Lauren Paquette. It's interesting, Jessica O'Connell's already put a bit of a burst on right from the start just to try to come through. And this is interesting because Rojas, the Peruvian, is just moving up the pack as well, and it's very tempting for the home runners to take this on early on and to get a real response from the crowd. Menezes is also making a move, so the Peruvians just sitting in behind that group of the first three at the moment. Twelve and a half laps of the track in the 5,000 meters. Everything as you'd expect at this stage, very condensed, very tight together. Mexican competitor Rispa Biaki Gesabwa, the silver medalist in the 10,000, just on the outside and keeping an eye on the field, just sitting back in that final third. But it's still Lauren Paquette of the USA, the 33-year-old.
And over to the triple jump. After one round of competition, it is Venezuela's Yulimar Rojas in the lead, and she is doing exactly what she did before her first effort, 14:90. And the question for her is, can she do even better here? it will be close. She looks like she doesn't quite understand. But it is a red flag for Yulima Rojas on her second attempt. She was so pumped up before attempting something, and she is absolutely getting near 15, but just there, a little tiny bit over on the board. She wasn't too satisfied. She said, I don't know, but it remains a red flagged jump. Here is Shanika Ricketts of Jamaica, graduate of San Diego State University. 2013 and 2014, the NCAA champion. Has been in a lot of major events, seen a lot of major finals. And if that was clean, she too looks to be approaching 15 meters. She fouled out on her first jump. This was her second. And easily, that will be fair. Amongst this field, Shanika Ricketts has the third best jump in 2019. And 14.76, that equals the personal best that she set, which was the world leading mark back in February.
Things getting very exciting indeed in the women's triple jump competition, and very exciting out on the track. You probably could hear all the roaring. It's because Luz Rojas has come through to take the lead. It's something we suspected she might do because she started to make a move early on. I think the rest of the field are quite happy to let Rojas lead this. She's certainly feeling it as well, Rojas, with Paquette following up. O'Connell is there and thereabouts. She made a really big, bold move very early on. Jessica O'Connell, the silver medalist in Chinese Taipei in the World University Games of 2017. O'Connell was 7th in Toronto. She won't be too bothered about that. Natasha Wodak was 7th in the 10,000 in Toronto. Her teammate came through and won the whole thing, so she knows it's possible. She knows it's achievable. Everyone is, again, just happy to sit behind Rojas. Borelli, the Argentinian, is there as well. 9-time national champion. So 8 laps remaining in this women's 5,000 meters race. Just a little bit off the pace is Toakisa, the Ecuadorian 23-year-old. She's separated from the rest of the group, and in some danger of doing that as well is Luna, Fedra Luna of Argentina. She's just starting to drift away a touch, though she's working hard now just to remain in touch. Still Rispa Biaki-Gasebwa, the 30-year-old from Mexico. She's hanging in that same sort of position she was a couple of laps ago. There is Toakisa, who's losing a little bit of ground now. Paquette is very close indeed to Rojas and looks like she could pass her at will. Still, they're all happy just to sit behind Rojas, who's also pretty happy to lead the whole thing. The question is, what kind of kick has Rojas got? She does a lot of 10,000 road races, a lot of 10Ks. Still Paquette, still Borelli is in the mix, as is O'Connell. The other Peruvian, Saida Menezes, the 21-year-old who was 4th in the South American Championships in Lima in May. She's around the pack too. Tabarez, the veteran from Colombia, is there too. She was the 5,000 meter silver medalist in Lima in the South American Championship. She won the 10,000, so she really is a highly accomplished distance runner. She's just set a new national record in the 10,000 as Tabarez, so she could be a danger. Borelli is decently positioned. She's just got to avoid the danger of being boxed in when the move comes. As Menezes just behind her, over her shoulder. It's all with Rojas at the moment. She's certainly made a clear decision. She's been very determined in going out into the lead. Just get the feeling that Paquette will come strong as Rojas starts to fade. That's always the possibility, and it looks like that might be sooner rather than later. But what of Borelli as well? What's she got? Just get the sense O'Connell is lurking and waiting for a little burst. Very close together now, Rojas and Paquette. Kim Conley of the USA is right towards the back of the pack at the moment, and it's Laura Galvan of Mexico who's bringing up the rear of this leading group. We have had a touch of separation start to occur. Still Rojas, still working hard, still fighting her way in a leading position. Set her personal best in April in California, so she has been running well, but her personal best is 15 minutes 45.52 seconds. Now, in contrast to that, you've got folk like Conley and like Paquette who are running almost half a minute quicker than that. But it's not so much about the times, it's about what you do on the occasion. An American record is 15 minutes and 30 seconds. And that was set by Adriana Fernandez in Santo Domingo in the 2003 games. Now, it looks as though O'Connell is just starting to have a little think about things. Again, one dare not rule out Rispa Biaki-Gasebwa, who's maintained that position on the outside pretty well consistently the whole time. Rojas is attempting to really stretch this one. This is a very bold run from Rojas, and so far it's probably going as she'd want it to be. It could also play rather into the hands of her teammate Menezes, who's in 5th position at the moment. Now then, is O'Connell starting to move? Again, they look like they're just happy to wait and watch and time things. Just get the sense of a whole series of coiled springs behind Luz Rojas at the moment, who are just waiting to go into action. Lauren Paquette has been comfortably sitting in 2nd place the whole time. Four laps remain. We're getting to the stage now where somebody is going to make a move, perhaps. Nobody dares at the moment. They're all very happy with Luz Rojas leading the way. And she's responded very well to the crowd indeed. They've kind of given her a little bit more in the lungs. It's a good run from Rojas. It's a really good run. Just can she hold it? That's the big question. Now, we've got a move coming on the outside. This is the first really big gambit that's been played. And we have got ourselves a new leader at this point. It's taken a while. Carolina Tabarez it is who's made the move to come through. No, a correction on that. It's actually Kim Conley of the USA who's come through to take the lead. So it's Conley. Tabarez actually has drifted back. Conley sat back for a large part of this race. She was perfectly happy to do that. Now a new leader, but what of Saida Menezes? Looked like she was trying to make a move past Biaki, just couldn't get there. Paquette has fallen back quite a way back. So the Americans have switched positions really with Kim Conley. Well, Conley performed very well back in June. She produced her first sub-15:10 run for 3 years to set a new personal best of 15 minutes and 5.2 seconds. So she suddenly, at 33, started to find a rich vein of form, and she might have found this tactically just right. It is Conley. Then we have O'Connell. Still O'Connell in that position as Rojas is really starting to fade and drift back. Biaki Gesebwa now in third position. And we're getting towards the business end of the contest. Conley, O'Connell, Biaki, Tabares now has made the move. Rojas is starting to try to come back, actually. She's really going for this, is Luz Rojas. It is O'Connell, though, who has looked quite comfortable. Looks like she's functioning within her tolerance. So does the Canadian now have a decision to make about when she makes this move over Kim Conley, or does Conley start to stretch it? Here comes Biaki Gesebwa. Now, a watch for Laura Galvan of Mexico. Well, Mexico have played quite a good line in tactical racing over the middle and long distances, and Galvan is now starting to make her move. This is interesting. Two-time national champion, the 27-year-old Laura Galvan, is starting to go into the picture as Biaki Gesebwa looks as though she might be starting to fade a touch, or is she? Is she coming back? Indeed, under pressure from Tabares, but we've got a breakaway of 3 just starting to form. It does look as though the Mexican, or the second Mexican now, is in a touch of trouble, and we are starting to get separation. Conley, then O'Connell, then Galvan, 1, 2 and 3. There is a touch of separation as we hit the bell. This is it, the final lap, the final 400. Who's going to finish most strongly indeed? Still Kim Conley holding on to the lead, but Jessica O'Connell, who's been planning an attack for some time, now looks like she might be doing it. She might get just a touch boxed in, that's the problem. Got to deal with Tuakiza. They're going to have to move around her. Tuakiza's been lapped. Conley, O'Connell, Galvan. Here comes Galvan, moving into second place. Galvan is over the shoulder of Conley. Has she timed this just right? Is Conley starting to fade? And now the moment where Galvan makes the move and moves into first place, and Conley is moving backwards. Conley is disappearing. Here comes the kick from Conley, here comes the kick from O'Connell. Has Galvan got more than both of them? At the moment it looks like she has. What of Jessica O'Connell? She's making a move, the 30-year-old. Has she timed it? Is Galvan going to hold off? Galvan with one final burst, and it is gold for Galvan. It's silver for O'Connell. And then coming across to take the bronze medal, Kim Conley, but another tactical masterstroke by another Mexican runner. It's Laura Galvan, the 27-year-old, who takes the gold medal. She set her personal best just a month ago, and she's produced the best moment of her career, only 5 seconds outside of the Pan American record. Laura Galvan taking the gold medal in the women's 5,000, managing to hold off Jessica O'Connell in most impressive fashion indeed. Well, it looked as though O'Connell had a plan. Galvan begged to differ. Another superb bit of judgment. She was very nearly there, Jessica O'Connell. It was a tactically very astute race. Fascinating drama. Kim Conley holding on to take the bronze medal when it looked as though she was in danger of fading. Let's look back at some of the moments of a thoroughly memorable 5,000 metres race. And as the Peruvian Luz Rojas moved into the early lead, everybody was just quite happy to wait and make the right decision. The one who made the best decision was Laura Galvan of Mexico. For a long while it was Lauren Paquette, but it was her fellow 33-year-old teammate Kim Conley who came through into the leading position. There's O'Connell, always looking like she was going to be there or thereabouts, and this is the moment where everything happened, and you can see Connolly start to fade as Galvan comes past her, and then O'Connell makes the move. Connolly is fighting and fighting hard just to hold on and get across the line to take a bronze, which she does in admirable fashion, but it's Galvan. Here's the little burst of pace, just moving away from O'Connell. She was almost there, the Canadian, but not on this occasion. Gold for Galvan. Galvanised at the end, thoroughly impressive. The final standings in the women's 5,000 metres. Kim Connolly of the USA taking the bronze medal. Jessica O'Connell of Canada, the silver, but gold for Laura Galvan of Mexico.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lima 2019 Pan American Games presents the women's 1,500 meters medal ceremony.
Los Juegos Panamericanos Lima 2019 presentan la ceremonia de premiación 1.500 metros damas.
Please welcome the medalists.
Damas y caballeros, recibamos a los medallistas.
After the excitement of the 5,000 metres, a slower pace to proceedings, but for a race that was superbly run and conducted by the two Americans.
Secretary General of Pan Am Sports.
Las medallas serán presentadas por Ivar Cisniega, secretario general de Pan Am Sports.
Accompanied by Oscar Fernandez, President of the Ibero-American Athletics Federation.
Acompañado por Oscar Fernández, presidente de la Asociación Iberoamericana de Atletismo.
Bronze medal, representing the United States of America.
Medalla de bronce, representando a Estados Unidos.
Alexa Ephraimson.
Alexa Ephraimson taking the bronze medal in the women's 1,500 metres, and telling the disappointment of not making the finals on the domestic scene earlier this year in the USA into the enjoyment of climbing the podium on the Pan American Games podium.
Silver medal, representing Jamaica.
Medalla de plata, representando a Jamaica.
Aisha Pro.
Aisha Prout of Jamaica with the silver medal, part of the group which broke away from the rest of the pack at the bell, and it was a shoot-off between these three. And Prout's managing to work her way in between the two Americans to take the silver medal.
Gold medal and Pan American champion, representing the United States of America.
Medalla de oro y campeona panamericana representando a Estados Unidos.
Dominique Hills.
And the gold medalist in a time of 4 minutes and 7 seconds, 0.14. She is capable of going quicker than that, but Nikki Hiltz timing things to perfection to take the gold medal. She had a target on her back because she has the quickest time of the pack this year coming into the competition, but she rode the pressure well
United States of America.
and came out on top.
Damas y caballeros, el himno nacional de Estados Unidos.
Pan American medalists.
The medalists in the women's 1500 meters, Nikki Hiltz with the golds, Aisha Prautz from Jamaica with the silver, and Alexa Ephraimson from the USA with the bronze.
And back over to men's high jump. It is the defending Pan American Games silver medalist, Michael Robert Mason of Canada. This is his attempt at 2:26, and it's a good one. Was not able to clear it the first time around, but 2:26 has stymied all of the competitors who have tried it once. And Michael Robert Mason becomes the third to manage to clear it. Here is Keenan Lane, the United States, third attempt. And the exclamation says it all. Oh man. 2:24 will be his best effort this evening. So very close for the 22-year-old out of the University of Georgia. Had a fantastic NCAA season this year. Finished 5th at the national championships for university. And this for Brazil and Fernando Carvalho Ferreira. His final attempt at 2:26. He's missed it twice. Is it meant to be a third time? Why, yes, it is. Yes, indeed it is. And it is a new season's best for Fernando Carvalho Ferreira. Making it easily on his third attempt. He loves it, the coach loves it, the crowd loves it. Fantastic effort from this Brazilian, 24 years old, finished 7th at the Pan American Games 4 years ago. From Mexico, Roberto Vilches. And the bar has literally been raised to 2:28. He is the first competitor to attempt this height. And 2:28 proves too much on the first attempt for Roberto Vilches. Very impressive young athlete from Mexico. Last year he won the World Under-20 Championships. At 2:28, getting the better of him for now. Luis Enrique Zayas Fernandez of Cuba, 22 years old. Says his ambition is to match the exploits of the great Cuban high jumper Javier Sotomayor. He can start by clearing 2:28. Oh, and very capable. Luis Zayas Fernandez, a new personal best. And you could see it coming. It only took him one attempt, two attempts really, to get past 2:26, and this powerful approach. Fantastic height. And fierce celebration from this ambitious 22-year-old. And so what now of Fernando Carvalho Ferreira? It took him 3 attempts to clear 226, but he did it. This, his first attempt at 228. Well, he will get a second attempt. Fernando Carvalho Ferreira, someone else who had a stellar junior career. He was golden at the 2016 Under-23 World Championships. As we have a look at the Canadian, Michael Robert Mason, only took him 2 attempts to get past 226.
2015 Pan Am Games silver medalist, looking to equal the first time clearance produced by his Cuban rival.
Such experience, 3-time Olympian. And 228 proves too much for him at the moment, but like the others, he will have 3 chances at it. And just by a little bit, he had been ever so slightly more arced up. That bar would have stayed in place. Which brings up Roberto Vilches.
So on the runway for his second attempt at 2 meters 28, Roberto Vilches of Mexico. Follow his lead, ladies and gentlemen. Clap to that rhythm that he has just requested.
Roberto Vilches seeking the assistance of the crowd in the National Stadium to pump him up, maybe give him those few centimeters he needs to get over 228. Nope. One last opportunity for Roberto Vilches at 228. So far, only Luis Zayas Fernandez of Cuba has been able to clear it. Keenan Lane of the United States being eliminated at 226. That leaves 4 jumpers in the competition. Second attempt now for Fernando Carvalho Ferreira. Already set a season's best at 226. Second attempt. And all of a sudden, it is do or die time for Fernando Carvalho Ferreira in the men's high jump final. 4 contenders battling for 3 medals. So far, the only person who is safe, the young Cuban, Luis Zayas Fernandez. Michael Robert Mason, second attempt at 228. And it is good.
The second athlete clear at 2 meters 28.
So Michael Robert Mason,
The 2012 Olympic finalist,
the defending Pan American silver medalist, is looking good for a second trip to the medal stand here in the men's high jump final. And a look at the standings in women's triple jump. After round 3, it is Venezuela's Yulimar Rojas and her mark of 14.90 still leading the way.
Well, we can dispense with the normal order to proceedings at a track and field events. This is where the chaos can reign. It is time for the 4x1 100-meter relays.
The next event on the track, ladies and gentlemen, is the final of the women's 4x100-meter relay.
So Venezuela going in lane 1, Peru, Bahamas, Brazil, the United States of America and Jamaica. Well, they'll be the two to watch in lanes 5 and 6. Canada out in lane 8, and Ecuador as well will be interesting to see. 4 years ago, the United States beating Jamaica and Canada on their home events. They were in 3rd.
Starting on the outside in lane number 9, Ecuador.
So Ecuador, who will be anchored by Angela Tenorio. She will be taking the 4th leg on, and she was 4th in the 100 meters, 6th in the 200.
Next to them in lane 8, carril número 8, Canada.
Then it is Canada. Kamika Bingham setting off, and then Layla Rose Buchanan will be on the anchor leg. Trinidad and Tobago, Kamaria Durant, Michelle Lee Ayi, Kellyanne Baptiste on the anchor leg, so they could well be one to watch. Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica with Shaloni Calvert-Powell setting off, and then Shashali Forbes on the anchor. For the US, Chanel Brissett setting off, and then Lynn Irby will be bringing them home. Brazil, Andressa Moreira Fidelis on the 1st. It includes Victoria Cristina Silva. She is going in the 2nd leg. For the Bahamas, well, it will be Tinia Gaitha who brings them home on the anchor leg. Devon Shelton will be getting them going. For Peru, real chance for a national record for Peru. They are so close to beating that with their season's best. And for Venezuela, including very mixed team for Venezuela. It'll be interesting to see how they do, including Aris Sanchez, who is a long jumper in their ranks. So Venezuela in 1, Peru in 2, Bahamas in 3, Brazil in 4, the United States in 5, the champions from 4 years ago, Jamaica outside them in 6, Trinidad and Tobago in 7, then Canada in 8, and Ecuador in 9. The women's 4x100-meter relays at Lima 2019.
So away we go on the first leg of the women's 4x100.
So lanes 5 and 6, where the US and Jamaica face off. The gold and silver went to them 4 years ago. How are we? Chanel Brissett with a good first leg for the US, and then she hands over. Jamaica going very nicely too. Jamaica, Natasha Morrison runs a good 2nd leg and then hands on. Trinidad and Tobago, Michelle Yai, her work is done now. And Trinidad and Tobago looking very good. Just in lane number 7. Where are the US? Where are Jamaica? Brazil are going to head off well. This is going to be looking very nice for Brazil. It is Oliveira Santos, and she's hurtling down the back straight. No one's going to catch Brazil. It's going to be gold to Brazil. US in 2nd. It will be tight, though. It could be on the line between the US. Perhaps they won't be. They could be down in bronze position. It'll be one or the other, but gold to Brazil. Such interesting selection from the Brazilians, but it works. They use their star turn. Victoria Cristina Silva on the 2nd leg. And that meant that Rosangela Oliveira Santos anchored them home.
Canada take the silver in 43.37 and rounding out the podium with a...
Well, instead of using some of the big names across the competition, the likes of Rosangela Oliveira Santos have been brought here just for the 4x1, and it's worked. They've beaten the US. Silver for the USA, and they're still delighted. They are thrilled with that. It's a very different team, totally different team to the one that won 4 years ago in Toronto for the US. But they are the gold medalists. Andressa Moreira Fidelis, well, she was setting things off as we just head back to the high jump now.
And there is a battle on between the final two competitors in this men's high jump.
Well, let's just catch a look, though, at how it broke down, because relays, they take a second viewing, sometimes a third, to quite work out what went on. At this stage, Jamaica and the US had got off well in the right lanes. Just when it got to the second leg, that's when things started to change. And Trinidad and Tobago, Michelle Yi running a very good leg for Trinidad and Tobago. But from this position, the US were in second, and you felt they might be able to kick on, but Rosangela Oliveira Santos anchored Brazil home in style. And we're just trying to confirm the results coming through, because what we're seeing is that United States on the line took the bronze instead. Canada, from out in lane 8, took the silver. The time of 43.04, the season's best for Brazil, Canada, and for Trinidad and Tobago.
And that for Luis Enrique Zayas Fernandez of Cuba, clearing 2:30. He is well above his personal best of 2:27, set that back in 2016, and he is locked in a duel with the reigning Pan American Games silver medalist Michael Robert Mason of Canada. They are the only two left trying to clear 2:30. And Luis Enrique Zayas Fernandez has just done it on his second attempt. There is joy in the Cuban ranks. This very promising young athlete, just 22 years old, following in the footsteps of the great Javier Sotomayor, who owns the Pan American Games record. Sotomayor jumped 240 back in 1995 in Mar del Plata, Argentina. And Luis Enrique Zayas has cleared 2:30. His season's best, only 2:25, but this is the magic of the Pan American Games. With everything on the line, can you produce more than you ever have? For him, the answer is yes. Definitely yes. And now he will sit bundled up or not and wait to see. Wait perhaps for confirmation. The world lead would be 2:33, and he is about to attempt 2:32. Perhaps potentially a career-making moment on what has been a career-making night for Luis Zayas Fernandez. 2:32. Nope. And looks like he might have jarred a little something in this attempt at 2:32. Not even close, unfortunately. He has been so impressive all evening.
So just getting ready in the blocks are the men's 4x100 relay teams ahead of the final. There was no semi-final for this, no time for that yesterday evening. The teams at one point realised that, well, there's only 9 of them, so they didn't need to go through semi-finals, straight to the final. And here is the lane order.
The next event on the track is the final of the men's 4x100
as it was in the women. Jamaica and the US are going in the middle lanes. Can Brazil spring another surprise and get the second gold in the 4x1 relays?
All 9 lanes in use in this men's
The champions from 2015, well, that's the United States. Brazil came second 4 years ago, and Trinidad and Tobago were in third. Here is Venezuela. They will be going in lane 9. Trinidad and Tobago in lane 8, set off by Gerald Elcock, and then Kyle Gray bringing them in on the anchor. Gavin Smelly will be getting Canada going, and Mobolade Ojumale will be on their anchor. The Dominican Republic setting off by Christopher Valdez Guzman, and then Giancarlos Martinez. Just seen him become a medalist for the Dominican Republic. He is on the anchor. Jamaica, Andre Ewers setting them off, and O'Shane Bailey on the anchor. Then it's Jarrett Eaton setting off the US. Cravon Gillespie, Bryce Robinson, and then the gold medalist in the men's 100 meters, Mike Rogers, is in their anchor for Brazil. Rodrigo do Nascimento sets them off, and then Paulo André Camilo de Oliveira is on the anchor for Cuba. Perez Acosta will set them off, and then Jose Gaspar Hernandez on the anchor for Peru. Frank Sanchez Mozombite is in lane 1. He will be starting off for Peru, and their anchor, Andy Martinez. Now Peru, for them, it is about trying to break their national record of 40 seconds, .38. They're well capable of doing that in front of this crowd. So whilst we expect the race to be run by the big names, Brazil, United States, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, potentially Canada, and the Dominican Republic as well. So Brazil being set off by Rodrigo de Nascimento, who came 4th in the men's 100 meters. So close to taking a medal. An ideal man to be pulling them away. It is Camilo de Oliveira on the anchor, who had the silver for Brazil. US's Mike Rogers, of course, the champion in the 100 meters, is going to be steering the US home. Will it be for gold? The men's 4x100 meter final. Through the first leg they go, and it's a good start for Jamaica. Jamaica's Andre Ewers getting off very well. And then the changeovers, first one, most through cleanly, and Brazil looking good now too. Peru a little bit back, and then so too are Cuba. Trinidad and Tobago out in lane 8, ahead on the track, but Canada coming in to hunt them down. So too Jamaica, and Brazil looking very nice here. This is going to be set up well. Jamaica struggling on the changeover. Brazil are going to storm away. It's going to be 2-time gold for Brazil. It's going to be close, but it's going to be taken. Brazil from the outside lanes, Trinidad and Tobago. Oh, well, they came quickly. But he was calm. Paulo Camilo de Oliveira, the silver medalist in the men's 100 meters, calmed everything down. And it's double gold for Brazil, women and men, in the 4x100 meter relays. Well, they were the coolest of the lot. It felt theirs with 50 meters to go, but Trinidad and Tobago, they were ending quickly. So Trinidad and Tobago with the silver, the United States with the bronze. Canada finishing in 4th position. Jamaica well down. That final changeover looking to have scuppered any chances of a medal. Started well, the Jamaicans, but it's these boys from Brazil. Trinidad and Tobago go one better. than they could manage 4 years ago in Toronto. They've upgraded from bronze to silver. So Brazil, 38.27. Trinidad and Tobago with the second position, and then the United States of America in third. Peru finishing down and unable to improve on their national record.
Well, we have just witnessed a new Pan Am Games record in the triple jump.
So this was the first changeover from the nations. Brazil, you can see in lane 3, they kept calm all the way through. Transfer was slick. From silver and then on to his anchor man, Andre Camilo de Oliveira, going better than he could by himself with the help of his 3 friends.
15 meters in the history of Pan American Games competition.
Esta es una de las pruebas más esperadas, Ron, acá, y vean ustedes conversando de Lima Roja con el 9 veces campeón mundial y campeón olímpico en salto de los su entrenador Iván Pedroso.
And in the triple jump, here is the latest effort of the leader. From Venezuela, it is Yulimar Rojas. She has been pumped up all evening, opened up with a fantastic 1490, and it looks like she can do even better than that. Just so very close to that Pan American Games record. And with that, she may very well have broken it. It is a white flag for Yulimar Rojas of Venezuela. But is it a new Pan American Games record? Colombia's Catherine Ibarduen set it in Mexico, in Guadalajara in 2011 with 1492. And it looks like Yulimar Rojas might have just jumped better than that. Perfectly timed off the board. And it seemed like it was well past 15 meters. Just a beautiful effort from this Venezuelan. And it is, there it is, 15:11, a new Pan American Games record in the triple jump for Yulimar Rojas of Venezuela. No one has been able to come close to her. 1476 from Shanika Rickards of Jamaica, currently in second place. And here from Dominica, the latest effort of Thea Lafond. Thea Lafond's best so far, 1370. Let's put her in 8th place. Some consultation with her coach after that attempt by Thea Lafond of Dominica, Ana Lucia Jose Tima of the Dominican Republic. setting up for her fifth of 6 attempts. 29 years old, very experienced competitor. Occasionally competes long jump as well. Represented the Dominican Republic, the Olympic Games 3 years ago. Here she goes. And a very good effort from Ana Lucia Jose Tima. Well past the 13-meter mark. Her best on the evening came in round 3, 13.75. We'll see what this measures in at. Really giving it everything that she has. Her season's best, 13.87. And so she has come close to that this evening. This 13.16, so 13.75, remaining her best. Jamaica's Kimberly Williams, currently in 4th place, trying to push the leading 3, 14.15. The best she's done this evening. That came back in round 2. Oh, and Williams pulls up. Unfortunately. Looked good off the board, but just that final lunge, not getting what she needed to get from her legs. And ending with a whisper rather than a yell. So 12.23 for that 5th, but 14.15 remains her best of the evening, and she remains in 4th place at this moment. Kimberly Williams, 30 years old, 2-time Commonwealth Games gold medalist. And here from Cuba, Leida Giménez Povea. Oh, and a very solid looking jump, if indeed that is clean, and it is. The 2016 Olympian from Cuba. Has a silver medal from the World Junior Championships in 2014. Solid effort. Actually could have been a little bit more forward and been just fine. So Povea measuring in at 14.38. It's a little bit off of her best this evening, which was 14.60. But with one jump left, anything is possible, including for this woman, Shanika Ricketts of Jamaica. Equaled her personal best already this evening with 14.76. Can she do it better? And we will see. That a very good effort from Shanika Ricketts. Two-time NCAA champion in the United States for San Diego State University. And she jumped 14.76, which was the best in the world for the year back in February when she did it. So So it's waiting time for Shanika Ricketts. And 1470. Not quite, but oh so close. And now the leader, who is clearly enjoying herself, Yulimar Rojas of Venezuela. Her last jump, she set a Pan American Games record, breaking the record that has been held since 2011, the Pan American Games in Guadalajara. And what's so exciting is that she has 2 jumps left. So could she potentially break her own Pan American Games record that is 10 minutes old? Jump number 5, here is Yulimar Rojas of Venezuela. And another good effort from Yulimar Rojas. Don't think that is going to better the 15:11 that she set. And indeed, there is a red flag on that, but still, Pan American Games record. As we look at results from the men's high jump final, it is the young Cuban Luis Zayas Fernandez with a personal best mark of 2:30 taking the gold medal. Michael Robert Mason of Canada earning the silver, just as he did 4 years ago.
Lima 2019 Pan American Games.
And with the bronze, it will be Roberto Vilches of Mexico.
Medal ceremony.
Los Juegos Panamericanos Lima 2019 presentan la ceremonia de premiación 5.000 metros damas.
Please welcome the medalists.
Damas y caballeros, recibamos a las medallistas.
The victory ceremony in the women's 5,000 meters, and this was dramatic as ever.
Member of the Pan Am Sports Executive Board and President of the Mexican Olympic Committee.
Las medallas serán presentadas por Carlos Padilla, miembro del Comité Ejecutivo de Pan Am Sports y presidente del Comité Olímpico de México.
Accompanied by Gustavo Cardenas, President of the Peruvian Athletics Federation.
Acompañado por Gustavo Cárdenas, presidente de la Federación Peruana de Atletismo.
Bronze medal, representing the United States of America.
Medalla de bronce, representando a Estados Unidos.
Kimberly Conley.
Kim Conley, the runner who was born in Slough in the United Kingdom, but who grew up in Santa Rosa in California. She took the bold move to go into the lead in this race and very nearly held off. It was just a wonderful run by a couple of others that eventually beat her down to 3rd position, but it's a hugely impressive bronze medal for the 33-year-old who's competed at a couple of Olympic Games, is one of the most experienced out there. The bronze medal to Kim Conley of the United States of America.
Representing Canada.
Medalla de plata, representando a Canadá.
Jessica O'Connell.
Well, it turns out on the track for Canada that finishing 7th in Toronto doesn't mean anything in terms of where you're going to end up in Lima. After Natasha Wodak defied all of the form books to take the gold in the 10,000 metres, her teammate Jessica O'Connell produces a superb run to take the silver medal in the 5,000. She played this one tactically very astutely indeed. The silver medal to Jessica O'Connell of Canada.
Gold medal and Pan American champion representing Mexico.
Medalla de oro y campeona panamericana representando a México, Laura Esther Galván Rodríguez.
But this was a sensational finish from the two-time Mexican national champion, Laura Galvan. She came into this race empowered and emboldened, having set her best ever time just a month ago in California. Well, it turns out that the summer, or even the winter in Lima, is a rather good time to create memories. The gold medal and the Pan American Games champion, Laura Galvan of Mexico.
The national anthem of Mexico.
Damas y caballeros, el himno nacional de México.
A brilliant 5,000-meter double in men's and women's competition for Mexico at Lima 2019. And they're the medalists in the women's 5,000 meters at the 18th Pan American Games.
Back to the women's triple jump, and Ana Lucia Josetima of the Dominican Republic. This her 6th and final effort, currently in 7th place. 13.75 has been her best jump of the evening. Well, a clean jump for Ana Lucia Josetima of the Dominican Republic as she ends her competition in this women's triple jump final at the Pan American Games. Not sure that it was better than the 13.75 she showed during the 3rd round, but she certainly gave it her all and enjoyed herself as well. Always nice to see an athlete clearly having fun as she was. And 13.04, so 13.75 is where she will stay. And 7th place for the Dominican Republic. And what of Kimberly Williams? Currently 4th. Her best on the evening, 14.15. That was produced on her 2nd attempt. Here is her 6th. Oh, and again, like Ana Lucia Josetima, it was a good jump. Not sure that it is going to come close to what she was able to do earlier on. She needed 14.60 to challenge for the bronze, and that is not going to do it, unfortunately. She closes out her Pan American Games with 13.64, so 14.15 will be what counts. Look back at it from a different angle. And here, Leadgamis Povea of Cuba, currently in bronze medal position and indeed assured of the bronze medal. 14.60, her best of the night. All of her jumps have been more than 14 meters. And this one will be as well. Some terrific work shown by Leadgamis Povea of Cuba, 23 years old, already an Olympian, a Junior World Championships medalist, and now a Pan American Games medalist. Only question for her, what color will it be? And in her maiden Pan American Games, it will be a bronze medal for Cuba and Leadgamis Povea. 14.29, her last effort, 14.60, what will go down in the history books. And Shanika Ricketts of Jamaica, currently in silver medal position, but to get the gold, she will have to set a new Pan American Games record. She's got to do better than 15.11. And that, she tried her best. It looked like it could be greater than 15 meters. 14.76, her personal best, and she equaled that earlier this evening twice, as a matter of fact, in rounds 2 and 3. Could that be a little bit better? And we are getting confirmation that it is 14.77 for Shanika Ricketts. That a new personal best for the 27-year-old from St. Thomas Parish, Jamaica, via San Diego State University. It is a new personal best. And now, here she is, the Pan American Games champion. It does not matter what she does. She has already tonight set a new Pan American Games record, shattering the record that stood since 2011, 15.11, and now one last time, here is Yulimar Rojas of Venezuela. And that is not going to count, but it does not matter. It is official. Gold to Venezuela in the women's triple jump. What a moment it is for Yulimar Rojas. And for Venezuelan athletics, a gold medal and a new Pan American Games record.
There was a foul and a red flag in the final round for Yulimar Rojas, but that does not detract from the celebration that she is enjoying right now. A new Pan Am Games record.
Her former personal best, 15.06. And tonight, for the 5-time national champion from Venezuela, it is a new personal best. It is a new Pan American Games best. The 2-time world champion, completely in form here in Lima.
Here, 4 years later in Lima 2019, she will occupy top position courtesy of that new championship best mark of 50 meters 11.
The Olympic silver medalist from Rio de Janeiro 3 years ago. Yulimar Rojas really had it all. Two-time world championship gold medalist, but she had never won a medal at the Pan American Games. And tonight she has got her medal, and it is gold, and she has got her record, and it is outstanding. Photo call for the women's triple jump finalist medalists. And Yulimar Rojas did it in style. 15:11, the new Pan American Games record set in the National Stadium tonight by Yulimar Rojas of Venezuela. And a look back at that excellent jump.
Las ceremonias de premiación continuarán en esta bella noche aquí en Lima.
So we still have 4 medal ceremonies to come to conclude this evening of track and field action, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the relay award.
History for Venezuela, and history for the Pan American Games.
4x1 relay and the women's 4x1 relay.
Not bad at all for Yulimar Rojas.
For men to Cuba, Venezuela. Just taken triple jump gold for women. 4 medal ceremonies still to come. Please stay with us and acknowledge the incredible performance produced by all of these athletes.
Confirmation of the final results in women's triple jump. Yulimar Rojas with the gold for Venezuela, Shanika Ricketts with silver for Jamaica, and Laida Gamas Povea, the young Cuban, coming through with a bronze medal for Cuba. Coming up from the National Stadium, the victory ceremonies in men's high jump, women's 4x100 meter relay, men's 4x100 meter relay, and women's triple jump.
martillo femenino.
Ladies and gentlemen, very shortly we will have the medal presentation ceremony for the women's 4x100 meters relay.
Damas y caballeros, quédense con nosotros. Nos quedan 4 ceremonias de premiación. En breve, entrega de medallas del relevo 4 por 100 metros. Damas.
Lima 2019 Pan American Games presents the women's 4x100 meters medal ceremony.
Los Juegos Panamericanos Lima 2019 presentan la ceremonia de premiación relevo 4 por 100 metros damas.
So after a pause in the proceedings, the final act here this evening in the Athletics Stadium. The medal ceremonies for the 4x100 meter relays. And after that, the women's triple jump.
Welcome the medalists.
Damas y caballeros, recibamos a las medallistas.
As ever, the relays were fast, they were furious, and only those who kept their heads were able to come through to win a medal.
Olympic medalist and double world champion.
Las medallas serán presentadas por Leroy Burrell, medallista olímpico y doble campeón.
A real track and field royalty here to present the medals, Leroy Burrell.
Nevin Illich, member of the International Olympic Committee and president of Pan Am Sports.
Acompañado por Nevin Illich, miembro del Comité Olímpico Internacional y presidente de Pan Am Sports.
Bronze medal, representing the United States of America.
Medalla de bronce, representando a Estados Unidos.
Chanel Brissett, Quanisha Terry, Shania Collins, and Lina Irby.
So Team USA taking the bronze. Chanel Brissett, who set things off for the USA with the first leg. Quanisha Terry was on the second leg. Shania Collins carried things through and then handed over to Lina Irby, just 20 years old for the anchor leg, the world junior champion. Back in 2016 in the 4x1. And here in Lima, the USA with the bronze medal.
Representing Canada.
Medalla de plata, Canadá.
Kamika Bingham, Crystal Emmanuel, Ashlan Best, and Leah Buchanan.
Kamika Bingham on the first leg for Canada, and Crystal Emmanuel, her experience called upon for the second leg. Ashlan Nicole Best was on the third, and then all the way through to Layla Rose Buchanan. Canada with an overall time and a season's best. Just well, a third of a second behind Brazil, but the time of 43.37 was recorded. The best relay team have managed in 2019.
Gold medal and Pan American champions.
Medalla de oro y campeonas panamericanas, Brasil.
Brazil, the gold medalists. They had turned heartache 4 years ago when they finished fourth in the final. 4 years on, though, they took the gold medal and repeated the feat they managed back in Guadalajara when Brazil won both the women's and the men's 4x100 meters. And they've done the same 8 years later in Lima. Andressa Moreira Fidelis was on leg number one, then Victoria Cristina Silva Rosa, Lorraine Barbarossa Martins, before Rosangela Oliveira Santos, the only remaining team member on the anchor leg from the gold medal winning team in Guadalajara in 2011. And the winning time for Brazil, 43.04.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Brazil.
Damas y caballeros, el himno nacional de Brasil.
Gentlemen, the Pan-American medalists.
Damas y caballeros, las medallistas panamericanas.
So Brazil back atop the rostrum, Canada with the silver medal, and the United States in third with the bronze.
Lima 2019 Pan American Games presents the men's high jump medal ceremony.
Los Juegos Panamericanos Lima 2019 presentan la ceremonia de premiación salto de altura hombres.
It's time for the victory ceremony in men's high jump here at Lima 2019.
Please welcome the medalists.
Damas y caballeros, recibamos a los medallistas.
The medals will be presented by Javier Sotomayor, Olympic champion and world record holder in the high jump and triple Pan American champion.
And presenting the medals tonight, Javier Sotomayor of Cuba, one of the greatest names in high jump history.
Accompanied by Neven Ilic, member of the International Olympic Committee and president of Pan Am Sports.
Acompañado por Neven Ilic, miembro del Comité Olímpico Internacional y presidente de Pan Am Sports.
Bronze medal, representing Mexico.
Medalla de bronce, representando a México, Roberto Vilches Ruiz Sánchez.
It was a step up for Roberto Vilches of Mexico, winner of the World Under-20 Championship.